Hi everybody, welcome back. This may be a little bit challenging because we switched things up a little bit tonight. I'm sitting in that other seat. I'm not exactly sure which one is designated as the seat as opposed to the other seat. But what's really important is that I am pleased to welcome back to the program a friend of Park City Television who is working on behalf of Utahns as tirelessly as she possibly can. And now she has thrown her hat into the ring, as they say, and will be seeking membership in the state legislature. And it is always my sincere pleasure to welcome back to the program Ms. Christine Stenquist.
How are you?
So much, honey.
It's always so good to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Just gearing up to campaign season. I'm running for House District 17, so I'm very focused on getting our team together and getting that ball pushed down the road.
And I have to say, it was a little bit of an exciting moment for me as we've seen you progress through this world of advocacy into representation, to be introduced to your wonderful campaign manager. I think I don't think I'm really fit for office, but I think I would like to be able to say one day, this is my campaign manager.
I know, isn't that awesome?
So very official.
It is very official.
That's great.
It just seemed like the natural progression. For me, I was on the Hill for the past couple of years working on legislation on various topics, the biggest one being the medical cannabis this past session and the year before. And I was very saddened that I felt like a lot of people's voices weren't being heard. And instead of complaining about it, which I think I still did, I threw my hat in the ring and I said, I just got to get in there. I got to know what it is these legislators are up against, and I need to get in there and be the voice of the people. It just felt important.
And as we were talking just before we came on camera in terms of sort of relating to one another's experiences, I have to say that I recognize in you a natural flow to this process that has taken a little bit of time, but when you find, as the French say, when you find your métier, and it seems as though you found that on the Hill. And you know, I never dreamed to be a TV talk show host, and yet this is my thing, and it feels to me like you're in that moment of this is my thing.
It really is, and it was my campaign manager who brought it to my attention. We had to do a photo shoot. Now, I've been a sick patient for a lot of years. I always shied away from the camera, so it's been very challenging to get past that. And so we were doing outdoor shoots a lot, and then it was time to move to the Capitol. And she pointed out, in my photos, my whole face changes. Once I get to the Capitol, I just light up. It's familiar. I understand it. I know it. I want to be there. So that was a tell for me that I'm like, yep, I found my thing. I found my niche.
That's fantastic.
And so I'm hoping that I can continue that. I hope I can at least be the voice for the people. I really think I can bring that to them.
I guess we have to talk at least for a moment, and at least in a short address to the events of Orlando, and we're all sickened and beyond. Talk about what your emotional reaction to it is. I'm not really interested in policy. It feels like a time to not talk policy.
It's true. It's a time to mourn. And my campaign manager and I will be attending the vigil in Salt Lake. It's really hard because half of my campaign staff are LGBTQ. And it's hit us all really hard. Like it has the country. And it's really challenging when things like this happen, because there's so many emotions. There's anger, there's rage, and there's fear. And how do we move forward in this country when we have these mass shootings and we have this hate? How do we move forward? And the best thing that I can say to people is love wins. And if we just keep our heads together and get through this, we will find a way to make policy appropriate for our country so that we won't have these mass shootings. It's going to take us uniting together. It's going to take a lot of hard conversations, but it is very devastating. I have a daughter who is bisexual, and so to me it hits home. She could have been at that club, and it's terrifying. It's truly terrifying.
And the thing that occurred to me, and based on my experience over the years, living for many years in Atlanta, where the gay community is large and vibrant and amazing, and also not cut off from the rest of the community. And I thought of a couple of gay clubs that I went to with friends over the years that it wasn't about gay or L or G or B or T or Q human beings, and that I could have been there, and I'm not in categorically in any of those populations, except I'm in the other big category, which is human beings.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Florida is my home state. I grew up in Miami. My father resides in Orlando, retired narcotics officer, and we discussed this morning because the gun issue always comes up when we have these mass shootings, and we get very upset and enraged, and we want to do something about it right away, and then that dies down, and then the next shooting happens, and we get enraged, and we want to do something about it. And I would like people to hold on to that a little longer, and let's put some of that sorrow into action. I think it's time that we put some sorrow into action. We really have to look at automatic weapons in this country. Is it a necessity? I'm a strong believer in the Second Amendment. I really am. I grew up with a father who taught me how to use a gun. And I personally don't own a gun, but I know that those who do should have that right. And I think we need to get to a place where we can find common ground and work from there.
Indeed. Yeah. Well said.
Thank you.
Let's take a break.
Sure.
We'll come back and talk about what's upcoming for you on the campaign trail.
Excellent. Thank you.
We'll be right back more with Christine Stenquist, candidate for the 17th District State Legislature. More right after this.